Hello, today we are going to see a video on why you should study R. The R is a language which was developed by Ross Ihara and Robert Gentleman of the University of Auckland. They had brought up this language as a means for those who wanted to do statistical research. I have been teaching computer languages for the last 36 years, and we find that a lot of these languages survived, but a few of them did not survive. For those who invested a lot of time or effort on those languages which did not survive, it has led to a lot of frustration because today you cannot even buy a compiler for some of these languages, like Pascal for instance. We need to look at a lot of languages over the years. We have a small picture in front of us from 1950 to date. We find that some of the languages like artificial intelligence based languages like Lisp and variants have survived a very long time. But the others which are the newer languages like C, Python, R are still in vogue. But the very early languages like we had assembler, which is very rarely used today, or many mnemonic languages, or some of the mathematical languages of the early years like Fortran or Pascal are no longer with us. So what we now find is, it's not just the computer languages which have lasted and disappeared. We also find that this happened to other languages which humans speak. Going to the popularity of the languages, you can see on your screen from the data analytics and statistical research point of view, there are many languages which are extremely popular like Python, R, SQL, but there are others which are just there, Hadoop, Spark, and others like Java. We are very specifically focused on statistical research and statistical processing. Python is a lot easier to learn and does a lot of visualization with easy commands. But when it comes to complex statistical issues, R is the first choice for researchers and for data analysts. We come across the same phenomenon with our human languages also, where a number of human languages are either on the verge of extinction or they have already become extinct. So we need to understand that since it's a means of communication, we must have languages which are current, for which compilers and function libraries are available, and which will last for at least 10 to 15 years if we invest time and effort studying it. We can have a quick look at the advantages of R. As you can see, R is completely free. It is an open source language supported by thousands of programmers worldwide. It has got over 5,000 function libraries, and any new problem is always solved by large number of experts who are online and available for a discussion. The open group invests a lot of time, which is never quantified into money. So we don't have the issue of budgets and constraints when it comes to development of open source languages. New algorithms keep appearing all the time as research keeps moving forward, and we have a lot of newer and newer statistical algorithms being added into the packages. As you can see, R has got number of advantages where it can replace existing languages. It supports a whole lot of extensions to SPSS, SAS and so on. It is very comprehensive when it comes to neural networks and statistical processing. It has also got outstanding graph facilities where you can produce very complex graphs which help in visualization and analysis. It also has a support for the most advanced statistical algorithms, and most important, it's an open source language which is available to the whole world and to the data analytics community. A quick look at the various types of graphs which R produces, and these are not the final list. You can have any number of these graphs with more and more function support coming to us from various hobbyists and hardcore promoters of the R language. Now, as we go through the various analytics and its uses, we find there are a number of industries making use of these facilities. We have things like scientific, maths, textile, research, retail, hospitality, life sciences, pharma, banking, climate and statistical analysis, financial analysis. The list is endless. We can see a large amount of data being generated, which today we have called as big data. This big data or a large amount of data can always be processed using R, which takes in the data, churns it through its statistical functions, and produces either output in the form of numbers or output in the form of graphs, which can be used for interpretation. So when we go through the various analytical trends, we find a whole lot of new things happening, including Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, augmented reality, graph analytics, agile data, and so on. Now, what all these mean is that today we can get data from a number of sources which are not necessarily the data we collect from human data entry systems. Today we can have sensors, video cameras, we can have a whole lot of electronic transducer devices which can pick up information and pass on to us, like temperature, movements, vibration, vehicle speed. We got GPS trackers, we have got oil consumption unit measurements. The list is so endless that today data can be picked up from almost any source, even doors opening and closing, even small things like ovens being turned on and off, air conditioners being switched on and off, TV channel data. All this is available for processing, which traditional statistical languages cannot handle. So the data analytics has evolved itself into a new thing called data science, and those who work with it are called as data scientists. We are hosting a series of videos on R which guide you through the entire language, and we would like you to see our first video at the link given in this slide. We also would like to tell you that all our tutorials are free of cost and they are hosted on the YouTube for you to see. You can share these with your friends also. I just want to close with a very specific statement. Those who have a passion for R should also have a passion for data analytics and statistics. Otherwise, it would be like learning HTML without a passion for web pages. So I'm sure all of us would like to be in this data analytics space, and we welcome you to our series called the R Primer series, where the first video link is there on the slide in front of you. We thank you for watching, and don't forget to start your first lesson on R. It's absolutely free. We'd like to have your feedback. Trust yourself. You know more than you think you do. So have confidence and go on. We will also bring in the statistical components and other components of R, the application components, very soon. Our first series is on the language called R. Thank you very much and hope to see you again. Bye.